Hey guys, welcome to Shapr3D. So today we're going to be working on a spiral staircase. So some of you probably already know how to do this, but I'm going to just go ahead and show this to those who were asking about it. So what we start off by doing is drawing a circle on the flat plane, which is the top plane in this case. And make sure you're in feet if you're in America. So let's go ahead and do a 12-foot circle because I want 4-foot stairs. And then let's go ahead and do 4 feet inner diameter. So just to make sure we have 4 feet. Good. Now we draw a line across here. And we are gonna use the pattern tool and recreate this all the way around. Make sure it's circular by 360 degrees. And we want, in this case, let's say approximately 18 to make it easier to count. So however you're gonna do it later. And for making the stairs, there's multiple ways. Let's go ahead and switch to inches. And make sure you use this one specifically on that line, make it easier on yourself. All right, so let's go ahead and raise it up by 10 inches to make it count easier. And there's multiple ways to create new stairs. So for example, one way is you can select one, go to the center, copy, rotate, and then deselect copy and go up by 10 inches. And you have your second step, and you can keep doing that, but I don't like this method. Another method is to raise it up by 20 inches and then go down here and raise it up again by 10 inches, but I don't like that method either. The easiest method I've found is if you select this one and you pattern tool this thing across the center just like we did with the sketch. And let's do 180 degrees, and technically we want 9 of these since we have 18, but as you can see it goes like that. So we want to add an extra one so it finishes off that half circle, and then we just delete the one we don't need, so we have our half. Okay, and then what you do now is simply go ahead and enter the dimensions, and this makes it way faster. So planning ahead in Shapr, like I said earlier in another video, is a superpower, because once you know what you're doing, once you know what you want, it's all just a matter of the necessary steps. So planning ahead is great. And that comes with experience though. So we have now our stairs, and what we need to do is select, or rather hide the sketches, and then go to tools, union, and we're going to slide our selection and click done. And now we have this staircase, right? So now what we need to do is go ahead and select all of it, click copy, move it down by 20 inches in this case, deselect, and then go to tools, subtract. We're going to select the top one and then subtract the bottom one from the top one, and now delete the bottom. We don't need it anymore. All right, now what we can do is select this, copy, make sure it's centered, and then rotate it by 180 degrees. And we're going to deselect the copy function and go ahead and move it up here by 90 inches. And then as you can see, this part is missing one, so we can go ahead, tools, extrude. We're going to select this step and this step. You'll see why in a bit, but select both of those, go down 20 inches and click union on the selection box. Now we have this complete stair here. And once we have that, it's already union since we were doing that process, we can go ahead and sketch on this step right here. Go ahead and sketch a line across, and then go to tools and revolve, and then select this bottom sketch, half step, and select the center to revolve around, and go up by, well, let's say to the top here, to 180 inches. Okay, so this gives us that revolve that we can use, and it's hard to select here sometimes, so we go to items and select that last body that we made, and we can go down by 10 inches, and we have, as you can see, this bottom face that aligns perfectly. And unioning this is a bit of a hassle just because Shapr doesn't handle corners very well. As you can see here, I'll give you an example. If you union this, it leaves these things, and if you try to delete these like usual, instead of replacing the face as it does naturally, it actually gives you this. So that's kind of weird. So a workaround you can do is if you go ahead and select this piece and just lower it, let's say by 1 inch, and you can tools, union, and then you don't have that finicky stuff there, but you do have those, so you have to account for that. And if you go here, select that edge and rise it up just a bit, if it would let you. There we go. Now you go to Tools, Union, and we have a solid piece, and we can rise this up by 1 inch back to where it was. And now we have a flat bottom, or not flat but winding bottom, but it's one solidary piece. Okay, the main thing we need it for is obviously this edge. So let's go ahead and undo that stuff, because like I said, we really need that edge, and when you union or subtract, it kind of takes away from what you can do with it, because if you go here, you can see it's flat right there, right? All right, so once we have that, we want to sketch on this again, and let's say 6 inches here and 6 inches there, not an arc but a line. It's hard to see because the pen's in my way, and then up like that. So once we have that, instead of using the revolve tool, we simply go to Tools and Sweep. We select these two, click Next, and we use basically this shape that we have. And now we have these two additional shapes that we need. Click Done. Now select these two bodies and move up, let's say 48 inches, which is 4 feet, and you have now your rail. Okay, so this is like a super simple process to create a rail. And then once you have that, you can also use this similar process to, let's say if you extrude this by 6 inches, make it a new body. And then what we can do is raise this up. Now once we have the rail, we simply select it, move this to the center, and copy it and twist it. Let's say we want it right there, 60 degrees, and then we can extrude this up, and then basically Tools, replace face, and subtract it, or rather replace the face to that part that we needed. So there's multiple ways of doing this, but that's basically one way to do the rail. Or you can also obviously use this and create a pattern tool function. So we can select it. Let's say we go around 360 degrees, and for some reason it's kind of slow right now. I put the number instead of the, okay, that's why. So we want, let's say we want 6 and 360 degrees, not items. So, and then you basically just go ahead and replace the face on the ones you need. So you go around and Tools, replace face, and this way you can have your rails fairly easily, so you can go all the way around. So now let's say you want to continue this. We can go in here and simply Tools, extrude this, let's say by 48 inches. So let's say a 4-foot step there. And as you can see, now we have this. So what we need to do is, first of all, move this just over across just a little bit, so we can Tools, replace face, this with, well, in this case, let's hide that sketch so we can actually use that edge. There we go. Tools, replace face, this with this. Oops. Tools, replace face. Make sure you turn other side for this specific situation. And it's not going for some reason. Why don't we do this? Sometimes when you have revolutions or natural shapes, Shapr has a moment there, so we need to kind of do workaround stuff. Okay, let's go. Now we can replace the face after we've moved it. Alright, so now we can move this one back. As you can see, it's there. Tools, sweep this body with this body. And now we have this flat edge as it goes. And let's say we want another step. So what we want to do is go ahead and copy this, move it up by 10, deselect copy, move it over by 48, so we have like a secondary thing going there. And to make these made up, we can simply use the move tool, take it up by 5 in this case, and take this down by 5, and now these have a nice solid transition. And let's say we want to continue this again, so what we can do is select these two, and then we want to actually copy them over, and next we go transform align, select these two bodies again, click this edge, and we want to align it with this edge, right? And we got to move it up just a little bit. All right, now that we have that, we want to continue our rail. What do? We simply use the tools sweep function. Since we've planned ahead, we have that edge there, and we have our rail. So all you have to do here is basically replace the face. So what we can go here is I could just, instead of hiding stuff, I can make a quick copy, tools to replace face, and select this edge, and now we have our rail that's continuing on all the way around. So this is basically how you do stairs and how you do the rails, and it's a really cool looking piece, and you can add details as you want, but let's look at it from the top. This looks wonderful, it's functional, and it works. And also another thing you can do is tools extrude. Let's say you want to select a whole bunch of these, you can select all of them, but I'm going to show you just one. So let's say 2 inches, right, as a new body, and then you can basically move these out if you select the right pieces. Let's say by 2 inches again. Now you have like a stair stepper part that's complete, and I actually think that looks really cool. So let's go ahead and just tools extrude all the way, at least one step, just to see how it looks, because I haven't done this one before. We don't need it there technically, but since we're doing it, let's do 2 inches, new body, done, and then select all of these little pieces. And we're almost done. And then we simply scoot them out by 2 inches, and we have these. And the cool thing is also, what you can do is, if you just tap the top of these things, right, then you go to items, and you have to tap them again, but this is still less work than the other ways. And then you go a new folder, and now you can select all of them, go to visualize, change this, go to the wood section, and let's say you want, I don't know, what do you want? Douglas fir board. That's probably not typical for these. Let's do oak board. And then for the stairs, we can do, let's say, some kind of steel, probably. Where's that steel? There we go. Polished steel, or let's do rough steel. Alright, and then for the rails, we can do the same thing, rough steel. And basically you have, oh, one more thing. Let's hide this piece. We don't need it, let's say, per se. We can hide a few of these pieces. All right, and here we have our not so complete, but complete to the sense that you know how to do it complete stairs. And as you can hear, I'm totally beat and tired. I'm barely speaking as it is, but I'm not able to sleep because I had so much coffee. So I got you guys this tutorial going. I hope you guys learned something and enjoyed following along. And now you can make your stairs not only spiral but also continuous. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Here
Bye-bye.
at Shapr3D, our goal is to inspire and empower you to create your own amazing projects. Please support our work so that we can keep doing it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to see more.